Crumble and point as the hunt begun. Crumble and dissipate. Embrace your end in truth. Heed the final symphony of death. Disperse. Crumble and dissipate. Embrace your end in truth.
Eyes on the target.
Heed the final symphony of death. Noisy. Crumble and dissipate. Embrace your end in truth. Hypocritical beings. Silence.
Eyes on the target.
Pointless resistance. Has the hunt begun? The final symphony of death. Disperse. Embrace your end in truth. It ends here. Heed the final symphony of death. I'll keep going. Crumble and dissipate. Embrace your end in truth. Pointless resistance. Crumble and heed the final symphony of death. Disperse. Crumble. Embrace your end in truth. It ends as the hunt begun. Silence. Heed the final symphony of death. Crumble. Embrace your end in truth. Has the hunt begun? Annihilate.
Eyes on the target.
Heed the final symphony of death. Crumble and dissipate. Disperse. Embrace your end in truth.
Eyes on the target.
Annihilate. Heed the final symphony of death. Crumble. Embrace your end in truth. It ends here. Pointless resistance. Silence. Heed the final symphony of death. I'll keep going, and you will too. Right. Crumble and dissipate. Embrace your end in truth. Resist.
Eyes on the target.
It ends here. Heed the final symphony of death. Disperse. Embrace Embrace your end in fruit.
Eyes on the target.
Want to see some card tricks? He's the final symphony of death.
Is not shining at all. It's most alluring when you play it.
Disperse. Embrace your end in fruit. It ends here.
Yawn. I thought you'd be more interesting.
He's the final symphony of death. Disperse. Embrace your end in fruit.
Eyes on the target.
The disparity is evident. Impressive. This is what I've always... It's not over yet! Keep raising the stakes!
Noisy. He's the final symphony of death. Crumble and embrace your end in fruit. It ends here. Annihilate. Pointless. He's the final symphony of death. Disperse. Noisy. Embrace your end in truth. It ends here. He's the final symphony of death. Disperse.
A long-awaited fest!
Embrace your end in
Let's
truth.
open up consciousnesses. You can wager your
It ends
signal
here.
in our heart to heart.
He's the final symphony of death. Disperse. Embrace your end in fruit. Now, insane only.
Eyes on the target.
No. Crumble now. Hypocritical being. Silence. It ends here. Noise. He's the final symphony of death. Disperse. Embrace your end in fruit.
Eyes on the target.
I'll keep going. Crumble and pass. Embrace your end in fruit. It ends here. Heed the final symphony of death. Disperse. Embrace your end in fruit.
Eyes on the target.
Be silent and perish.
Eyes on the target. I no longer fear death. Hard work pays.
Be silent and perish. As the hunt done.
More than ready. Give up!
沈め海の底に
Don't worry about me. Pave the way forward.
your end in truth. He's the final symphony of death.
海底に埋もれてしまえ。Calm down, Clyde.
I no longer fear death. Never give up!
Has the hunt begun?
Never give up! Never! Don't worry about me. Hard work pays off. Never give up! Pave the way forward!
Embrace your end in truth. It ends here.
Eyes on the target.
He's the final symphony of death. I'll keep going, and you will too. With enemies like these, this can hardly be called a fight. Crumble and embrace your end in truth. Crumble and he's the final symphony of death. Disperse. Embrace your end in truth. It ends as the hunt begun. No.
I no longer fear death. Now and never!
Be silent and perish.
Has the hunt begun? Your talent!
Be silent.
Eyes on the target.
Silence. He's the final symphony of death. Crumble and disperse. Embrace your end in truth. It ends here. He's the final symphony of death. Crumble it. Embrace your end in truth. Silence. Pointless resistance. He's the final symphony of death.
Hard work paid. Pave the way forward! I'm more than ready. I no longer fear death. Never give up! This dispute is to be settled.
Be silent and carry.
Never! Never give up!
Be silent and carry.
Pave the way forward!
With enemies like these, crumble, embrace your end in truth. Pointless resistance. It ends here. I'll keep going, and you will too. Right? Crumble and embrace your end in truth. It ends here.
Tear them apart!
Eyes on the target. I no longer fear death. Now hard work pays off. Never give up!
Has the hunt begun?
more than ready. Give up! Pave the way forward!
With enemies like these, this can hardly be called a fight.
I no longer fear death. Don't worry about me. Give up!
Has the hunt begun? Calm down, Kalais.
Run! Prey! Run! Your colors! I like them!
Crumble and defeat as the hunt. Embrace your end in truth. It ends here. Heed the final symphony of death. Disperse. Embrace your end in truth. It ends.
Eyes on the sun.
Heed the final symphony of death. Disperse.
Why? Tear them!
Be silent and perish.
Why? Tear them apart!
Embrace your end in truth. It ends here.
Eyes on the target.
Noisy.
I no longer fear death. Now you never. Never give up.
Be silent and perish.
Never give up. Pave the way forward. I no longer fear death. Never give up.
Be silent and perish. Embrace your end in truth. It ends here. Heed the final symphony of death. Disperse. Embrace your end in truth. It ends here. Silence. Heed the final symphony of death. Disperse. Crumble and dissipate. Embrace your end in truth.
Eyes on the target.
Heed the final symphony of death. Crumble and embrace your end in truth. It ends here.
Are you?
Be silent and perish.
Run. Pray. Run.
This is
Be silent and perish.
keep it. Pave the way forward! I no longer fear death. Give up! This dispute is to be settled.
With enemy, crumble it. Embrace your end in truth. It ends here.